Hi all, how's it going? Anna Alchemist to the Arts here, and I thought I would wish you a really happy full moon. I wanted to share some thoughts on this full moon in Gemini in the last of 2022, just my intuitive messages that I've had coming through, things I feel guided to share with you. Take it if it resonates and leave it if it doesn't, as always. The main message, sensation, feeling that has been coming through for me at this time is one of self-reflection. Now, whilst this can be a really positive and constructive life tool, this feels like that kind of deep down feeling where you begin to feel frustrated with yourself, where you perhaps slip into some old patterns of negative self-talk, perhaps feeling frustrated. There could be just some kind of underlying feeling here that's causing this sense of frustration, that feeling of, well, I haven't done this, why haven't I done this yet, why haven't I got there yet? And it's that, to me, it's that kind of dualistic energy of Gemini, where on the surface, you know, deep down, you know how far you've come, but there is also this equal polarized energy within that's kind of like, but you still haven't done this, you still haven't got here, why have you still not done this? And this could be looking at achievements and successes, it could be goals, it could be where you want to be in life, but also it could be spiritually within your personal work, or mentally, emotionally, if there are patterns still coming up, if you are still working through things. And this is a reminder that it's absolutely okay. This sense of there being a timeline by which you were supposed to have completed a phase of something is very much an expectation that we put upon ourselves. It isn't something that is necessarily laid out before us. You're not late, you're not running out of time, you're not behind everybody else. And the problem is, when we take our focus away from our inner reality, what's truly going on within us, and you know, our sense of worth and value that comes from within, and start, as we very much do because we're humans, looking at the outer world around us and looking at this person and that person, or so and so successes, or this person's been able to do this or get over, you know, we create a level of expectation within us that isn't necessarily realistic or reflective of our own personal process, of our own personal journey. And what success might mean to us could be completely different to other people. So the first kind of key message at this time is to take note of what it is that is coming up within. You know, where is there a frustration? Is there layers of expectation about things that we think we should have done by now? Because I feel like that's probably going to be one of the most potent things that we can release at this time. And it's not the goal itself, it's not the wanting of it, it's that expectation that we should have already accomplished it. Because let's just take it back for a second, you know, if we haven't done it yet, you already know that. Reiterating that fact to yourself is going to do nothing but beat yourself down. And it doesn't actually help you. Having that thought repeatedly, you haven't done this, you haven't achieved this, you haven't got that, they've done this. You know, these are those patterns of thinking that we get into, and it can become really quite an insidious loop that just plays over and over. And it could be absolutely anything. And like I said, for the most part, you can be really on top of everything. And there's just this underlying kind of self-talk voice sometimes that tries to pull us down, but it's built upon the expectations that we have created for ourselves based upon what we have viewed about the world. And this time for me is about taking back that power, taking back ownership of these goals, taking back ownership of our beliefs and our sense of control of ourselves, in that we cannot control how quickly we feel, how quickly we can actually do something sometimes, you know, especially when it comes to our own personal growth work, or fully having felt like we have gone through a layer of healing. I don't want to say fully healed through something, because I personally think that, you know, we just keep going back through different cycles and different levels, and that's absolutely okay too. But it's just releasing that expectation on ourselves that we should have done something already, and like we've already missed out, like we're already late. That for me at this time is the really big thing to release, to try and focus on releasing. And it's our attachment to this concept of time, of that it should already have happened, and bringing with it a sense of surrender, because there is still so much life ahead of us. There is still so much time. Time is a human construct. So in this present moment right now, you're not late. You haven't missed out. You haven't had all of the opportunities, met all of the people, experienced all the wonderful moments of your life that you were going to experience. Right now, in this moment, life is as it is, and releasing what hasn't come to be, or the need for it to be a specific way and that way only at a specific time, is going to bring this great sense of peace. It will just bring this great sense of peace to the spirit and soul right now. I think that's the main thing for me that's coming through at this time. And it's also coming with it this, you know, this powerful self-awareness that we need to be able to congratulate ourselves for where we are in the moment. You know, everybody's spectrum of success is different, and bringing that focus back to ourselves is it just feels like the most important thing for me right now, because the world is the world, and we all exist within it in a way that requires our attention a lot of the time, and can pull our attention in multiple different ways to literally the entire world. You know, we have access to so much, but sometimes that isn't always helpful if it comes to the point where we find ourselves thinking badly of ourselves or putting ourselves down. So that feels like the really big energy that's coming through for me at the moment. But it comes with this beautiful possibility to transform, to completely transform. And I feel like so many of us, especially at this time of year, need that sense of relief, that sense of peace that comes with letting go of some of the expectations that we have of ourselves. You know, for some of us there might be expectations from the outer world, but also it is our perception of what is expected of us from exterior people. Sometimes we have to have very clear conversations, assert boundaries, create a time scale, in order to have that sense of clarity, to organise our time, or to plan a way forwards. That's the, you know, the dualistic side of this energy, is that sometimes we have to completely release and surrender that kind of need to control the time, and other times we need to have a time frame in order to be able to structure things appropriately. So, you know, do take whichever resonates for you. But I'm not going to talk for too long, because I do have this habit of just going on forever. I'm going to get a couple of runes for you. I'll start now. The main runes that I would be drawn to would be the Lagus rune, most definitely, the Dagas rune, Raido, and Bjarkan. But with the sense of growth, it feels like this time is about creating our own concept and standard of success. It's building that freedom from within, having the freedom to move forwards at our own rate, at our own speed, needing to revisit things sometimes if we need to, and not feeling like we have to completely subscribe to this singularly linear viewpoint of success or achievement that's determined from the outside. Like, you do you. Let's get some runes. I'll hold them up here so you can actually see. I dropped two. Look at those as well. What we've got. Gibu. Oh, I love that. Gibu is to recognise where we're giving our energy to situations that aren't necessarily returning that energy to us. Now, sometimes, I'll always say, sometimes we do have to give our energy to a situation, and we don't give it to receive it back in kind. It's a reminder that the energy you give out holds you at a certain level of frequency, and likelihood is we end up experiencing what it is that we're giving out. That's just the laws of energy. So definitely bring that focus back onto you, on who you want to be, on the ways in which you want to show up. Be mindful of situations where you might be really giving yourself to the point of depletion, but also trust that, you know, you can shift and change your life by giving, by being who you want to be, and eventually, you know, I say eventually, but you begin to experience the beauty of that frequency coming back to you. Let's get the two that fell on the floor. We've got Tiras and Petro. Lovely. So definitely be guided in your choices by your highest truth, by your highest inner wisdom. Trust any intuitive nudges that are coming through. If you feel like something is right for you, if you feel like something is just, if you feel like, I'm getting so many different messages, so give me just a sec. Something is really worth moving forwards with. You know, you could get a really strong intuitive nudge sometimes from within that this feels right for you. Sometimes do always use your discernment. This is a reading, so I can't give any advice, and it shouldn't replace advice from anyone else, but use your discernment, because sometimes we know we have to do the right thing. Sometimes we know that directing our energy in a certain way is the right thing for us, and you will just know, it will just feel right. So it's this sense of destiny that just feels right from within, something that you can move towards, something that you will intuitively know feels like the right direction for you. And again, with, you know, with Gibu down here, we might not necessarily see the return of what it is we're investing in terms of our time or our energy, but it's a trust that things are, with Tiras here, working out for our highest good, and tuning into that intuition, directing our energy in the ways that will it feels right. You know, it's that combination of our masculine and feminine energy from within, really tuning into that feminine intuition and seeing where it's guiding us, and then allowing that to direct our highest course here with Tiras, putting that energy into action for our highest and greatest good. So it's really, really cold out here, so I'm going to wrap this up, but I wish you a really, really happy full moon. I hope this assists some of you. I've got readings available on my website. We've got the 2023 readings available now, and loads of other stuff. They're available on Etsy as well, but sales only through those two channels. So please, if anyone ever messages you saying that you need a reading, or they'd like to give you a reading and ask for money or whatever, it isn't me. Please protect yourself from imposters and from scammers, because unfortunately it's not just me, there's plenty out there that they seem to impersonate. So anyway, sending you all my love, and I will speak to you again really, really soon. Take care.